So I've been doing this video a little bit late, and it's my top sneakers for summertime, and there's quite a few different manufacturers to show off. And I think generally speaking, when you come to looking at sort of summer sneakers, they've got to be sort of lightweight, easy to wear, and also I find the ones that have sort of more sort of minimum sole on them as well, and sort of neutral on foot, also really helpful. And they've got to be breathable as well. And so the first one up on the list would be something like the Nike Air 180. These you can grab on sale depending on the colorway. This one in particular I've seen in the UK and EU sort of go on sale, which I'm sort of surprised about, because in some places it did sell out. But you can pick these up quite in reasonably priced. They're on the firmer side. The technology isn't obviously sort of contemporary as of today's standards, but I still feel that they're really nice on foot and suit my particular foot anyway, because I'm kind of used to wearing Air Maxes. And I actually think they look nice for summertime as well, because they're sort of clean, and most of them have sort of got white colours. And if you're not a fancy white colours, then you can also pick up some black versions as well, which I think is really cool, and at a good sort of budget price. So like I said, a lightweight sneaker, and also materials not the greatest, but they're fine. And in a similar vein from Nike, they did push these really hard, is the Spiridon model. It looks like they didn't quite succeed with this, because if you look online, you'll probably be able to see they're kind of on deep discount, and that's the reason why I picked up this pair. Otherwise I wouldn't have picked them up at sort of the £150 mark, because they're, you know, for me it wasn't a sort of must-have, but for the £50 that I picked them up for, I'm really happy with. And a lot of places still have sort of full-size ones, and they're comfortable on foot. They've got a unique outsole, and you know, the air unit sitting on the bottom, and overall they feel really comfortable on foot as well. A little bit heavier than and chunkier maybe than, you know, some of the other sneakers I'm going to mention here, but I still think it's a valid you know, sort of summertime sneaker, especially sort of going out in the evening as well. And I think they actually look cooler on feet versus seeing them, you know, in hand or online. Yeah, so definitely one to sort of check out, especially on a budget. And in a similar vein to that, we've got the Adidas Adios OG. This was used as a marathon runner, and it was going through that trend during, I suppose, the early 2000s, where a lot of sneakers were getting sort of very lightweight, very minimalistic, and this is one of those. And what I find about this one is they're very cheap. Got a little bit of take in there. You can pick these up for anywhere between sort of 35 to, you know, £60, depending on your size. What I would say is obviously to go up at least half a size in these, if not a full size if you have a wide foot. And the breathability and, like I said, lightweightness on these is sort of second to none. So you're not going to get the most cushion, but if you're just looking for something a bit more sort of ground feel and lightweight, and a good one to sort of take on holiday as well, in my opinion. And there's a plethora of different colorways, and I've seen a couple of collabs such as Sporty and Rich, and I think Adidas are sort of trying to push this model during the sort of summertime. And another model from Adidas is this Adizero PR. This is a similar thing really. So again, another one of those sort of marathon runners released during the 2000s. And the Adidas Aruku drew inspiration from the upper on this sneaker in terms of its design. And again, another one that can be had for very cheap, anywhere between sort of 35 to £60. I've seen them for full-size runs, and a few different colorways out there as well. So there is the sort of red and white colorway, and also the blue and white colorway. But I went for the all black one, which is not typical of me, but I find, you know, these ones come with extra grey laces. I'm not sure about the multicolored pairs. Just another one, yeah, just like I said, it's got neutral on foot, low ground feel, and if you like that kind of thing, then definitely worth grabbing. And these ones I still think can be used as runners as well, if you like the ground feel. And then also something which I've been wearing a hell of a lot for work reasons really, and you can kind of see they've been worn. And I do have the Halo Ivory pair as well. This pair I picked up on sale. What I found, it had a little bit of a mark on there, but because they were going to be worn, I wasn't too sort of fussed about that. And what I like about these is it's got that sort of burlap material on this. Yeah, the selling point of this particular sneaker, you can kind of fold down and just wear them as mules if you wanted to. And also like the kind of, I suppose, the slightly dressier sort of feel to it with the little beads on the stripes. I think it adds a nice touch, and I think Clot did a good job on these. And also what I really like about this is they've taken out the standard sort of really rubbish insole and put in like a really thick one, which is quite sort of rubberized, and, you know, feels really nice on foot. But the rest of, obviously, the inside of the sneaker is just pretty blank. But yeah, like I said, it feels really nice on foot in my opinion, especially compared to sort of Gazelles and other sort of sneakers from Adidas, standard stuff. You know, things like the handball Spezia I always just found just not the most comfortable sneakers for my particular foot, but with this one it seems really fine, and it's similar to the Bad Bunny Gazelle. And another one to have on the list is this is a staple of mine. This is the 1906R, and same thing again with this one. You can pick this particular colorway up on sale, which I find really crazy. Really, I picked this pair up, I think around sort of £70–75 last year, and you can still get them at the moment as well. They're still sort of available in various places, so it's definitely one worth checking out. But any colour of the 1906R, in my opinion, or the 2002R, whatever takes your preference, or even the 860 V2s, just very lightweight on the foot, nice and sort of neutral. And because of the energy system at the back, you also get the absorb cushioning as well, which is quite sort of bouncy and gives you that sort of spring off feeling as well. Not as much as a high foam stack sneaker, but like I said, more neutral on foot, but also very comfortable and very breathable as well. And then lastly, from New Balance, it's another sort of minimal sneaker. So these are called the Minimus series, and this has got a Vibram outsole, so slightly more for sort of trail hiking type wear, but again, very sort of neutral on foot, similar to the Adidas Clot sneakers, where they're kind of quite sort of basic. And what I like about this is just the styling on these as well, similar to the Clots. They've got that kind of burlap textile material, very sort of breathable, very minimalist look, and this M10 is particularly, I think, a cool sneaker as well. And I picked these ones up on sale as well, but these keep selling out, and they do have a few different colorways around. And then in terms of sort of foam sneakers, ones that I have been wearing, obviously I could recommend the Yeezy Foam Runner, but at the moment I think this has been one of the most popular sneakers, and I've just started wearing these around, and I actually find them really comfortable. They get a bit hot on the inside, even though it's got breathable holes that you can see on the upper. They do get slightly warm, but not too bad, I suppose, and I find them really comfortable on foot actually, which I'm surprised about, because initially I thought they would be a bit too sort of bouncy or a bit too soft, but they got a firm texture, but the cushioning feels quite thick on foot. So if you like that sort of thing and you like the way they look, then obviously definitely go for a pair of these, but they're quite difficult to find at the moment because they're quite hot. And in a similar vein to that, this is also quite difficult to find. I've started wearing these as well, which has got light strike in them. This is the Adidas Lightblaze Mock, and the light strike in these makes it feel quite sort of light foot, but also very sort of responsive, and it gives you that sort of lift off feeling as you're sort of walking. And the nice touch about these is they've got kind of that funky Yeezy Foam Runner MX type colorway, where it's just mixed with two different colorways, which I find quite cool. And like I said, I picked these up on sale for like £30, which is really cheap. And then if you're looking for some slides, this is probably the one to get at the moment. It's the Rejuvenate slides, and again, similar to the Mocks, they do have quite thick insoles, but definitely worth having a look at as well if you like that sort of thing and you kind of don't mind sitting slightly higher up. If not, then there are plenty of other slides from Crocs, or even like the Yeezy slides. You can still pick them up for a reasonable price as well, and also the New Balance recovery slides.